Hello there and welcome to Stranded Alien Dawn Starting Guide Part 3. Today we're going to cover base building and the clothing and happiness rating of these guys that we're going to have and show you what the differences are in that. For that we're going to go ahead and load up a different game than our other two videos that we had that we're just getting started in day one. This is what you're going to progress into and tell you why. So let's cover the clothing and stuff on our guys first. This is of course a different map. This is like a jungle map where I don't have to worry about too much about the other type of clothing on there. So yeah, the different clothing value have the they have the different tolerances for hot and cold. And on that first map right there, the stuff that has hot and cold is going to matter, and that's going to be the stuff in the green. So you want both of them to be in the green for hot and cold, and you want your fabrics and stuff like that to be easy to come by and easy to make, especially at the start of the game. So let's go ahead and cover those for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and start with we'll start with the hats on the guys, right? Because on the first map it gets hot and cold, and we want something simple for that. So the best solution for that on your hats department is going to be the baseball cap. As soon as you get some leather, veggie leather, or anything like that, you're going to be able to craft it. Make sure when you're crafting it, you're also turning off stuff like synthetics. Make sure you're not using that. And if you're short on leather, you turn that off there and make them and force them to use veggie leather for yourself if you can grow it. So you're going to want to do that for your baseball cap, and of course you want to make sure you have enough. I usually always put everything at 2 at a time, basically for themselves. I don't need that right now for them, but yeah, you usually want that for what you're going to do for your guys, because the baseball cap is the only one that has heat and cold tolerance, so you don't have to change that in the summer and the winter time. That's the only hat you really have to build for your guys. If you're lucky enough, you can just get away with just building that. If not, if it's too hot, you're just going to go ahead and build a straw hat for yourself that has the best heat tolerance, and then go ahead and build the fur cap for wintertime with the better cold tolerance. But then you have to switch your guys back and forth on these things, and that's why I would recommend going with the baseball cap on that department right there. And then all these other hats are just going to be cold tolerance. It's not going to help you with the heat, and you really do need stuff to help you with the heat in the summertime. That's why baseball cap is the #1 choice in my book for that. Now the other thing that's going to be has a different value on there is going to be your pants, I guess. So I know it's a little bit unorthodox to go from hats to hats to pants, but anyways, you can see the difference here. And what you want to build first of all is the summer pants, because that has heat and cold tolerances, surprisingly. And it's just +2, but it has both, and the both is better than nothing. And now that the heat tolerance is on the thermal pants, with the +10. So if it's very cold, you can go ahead and switch out. But then you still have summer pants. There's nothing else for heat tolerance on here, by the way. So there is nothing else for hot tolerance anyway. So you're going to go there and maybe just pick that, and that hopefully that's going to be good enough for wintertime. If not, you can go ahead and switch to anything. Like any armor will do. If you have to go ahead and build thermal pants, you can go ahead and build that. But that's not going to help you in the wintertime. But yeah, you can go with synthetic pants if you want to, or any synthetics and carbons and the actual armors for yourself, because that has no heat penalty, basically, right? You don't want that penalty on there. So summer pants or armor basically is what you want to go through with pants. And I guess we can cover boots right there. You can go from summer boots to regular just boots right there for the cold temperature. Nothing else in here is going to help you out and for the heat tolerance. So you're stuck building basic boots right there. And all this, if you have excess leathers and stuff like that, you can build these boots instead. But having the summer shoes is they're easier to build, and they have a +4 on there for yourself. So that's going to be your summer boots. And then your winter boots, you're going to be stuck building your regular boots, I guess, or try and get away with something else. But yeah, there's not much going on in that department. You're pretty much out of luck. And if you want that heat resistance, you're going to have to make summer shoes. So you're going to make these guys and try and make something else. So these boots right here, they take cloth and leather, so you're still stuck doing that. And if you want to build the other boots, you're still going to take you some other more advanced resources to get those things done. So you're pretty much screwed out there. The tops is where it gets difficult, because you have these tops right here, then you have these tops right here. They're both tops, but these ones here are only for t-shirts and only for sweaters and stuff, things like that. The other ones are not. They're armors that go on the outside. So the t-shirt and the shirt and the sweater, those are all the inside ones. And there's no armor for the inside. So basically, you don't want to build a shirt, basically, right? It has no heat tolerance, and so that's kind of a waste. There's no point in actually building that. So you're just going to build t-shirts and sweaters and go back and forth between those things and summer and winter. winter if you need to for that type of thing. So you're stuck doing that on there, and that's pretty, the sweater is going to cover quite a bit of heat for yourself, so you don't have to switch off the other gear out too much. But yeah, you're stuck building a t-shirt and a sweaters for all your guys, so you make sure you have that covered for them. And then everything else is on the outside, so there's no point in making like a jacket, for example, or a fur coat, or any of these armors either. You don't want any of those. The only armors you really want on the outside is going to be synthetic and carbon, basically, because they have both the heat and the cold tolerance built in for you. So yeah, later on you probably don't even need to worry about swapping out your coats. You can just stick with the summer jacket, the t-shirt, basically, right? All your guys can get away with at the end of the day is a t-shirt and having one of these synthetic vests on, and you should be good to go for your stuff, or carbon once you get that. So yeah, once you have that, you won't have to switch back and forth from your coats anymore, and that should cover all your different, the ins and outs of all the basics in the cloth to keep your temperature at a stable value for summertime and wintertime when you go through the hot season and the cold seasons and the cold snaps and the hot snaps and all that kind of crap. Everything else on your equipment is probably self-explanatory. You get the respiratory mask, you got those good luck charms, and like I said, earplugs when your guys are all stuck together and things like that. And then the harvesting tools, you can double up on these if you want and have them all harvesting a lot better if you need to. Like if he wants to go out and harvest stuff, he's got the double tools for himself. The other thing, if you want to save durability on your weapons, you can go ahead and put these things all away, right? You can just go over here and go to nothing, and then once an attack happens, you go over here and then go in there and switch to one of your weapons. But I have extra weapons here I found, so I don't really need to do that. I don't care about laser point ones. I like these ones better, so they can just go ahead and degrade, and they don't have to worry about swapping them out there. But just so you know, all your equipment on there degrades over time when you're using, even if you're not using it. Like you don't have to use your bow for it to degrade. That's why she has no spear, because her spear ran out of durability. So don't keep your good shit on at all times. Just keep the basic stuff on there so they have something to defend themselves with, better than nothing. And it's better just to have your spear degrade than something expensive like a laser sword that will degrade for you. And then if attack happens, you can swap them out there as you see fit. So that's the equipment part. Now we're going to go over to the base building part, and you can see a rough idea on that. Holding shift and the mouse wheel, you can see the different layers. I like that part of this game right here. But the general easiest the way to defend yourself is a nice square rectangle base, and with some fences on the outside and some turrets that are going in there to protect yourself with. The fences are really awesome and a nice key feature, because your turrets can't just shoot straight down. That way you have some extra layers of protection. You can make extra layers of walls for yourself, so they can't just beeline it there and break your little fence down there, then break it again. They're weaker than the walls, but your guns can shoot over top of them, and so the guys can be running around here and your gun can take them out, and they can't take you out back, type of thing, right? So kind of cheap that way on doing that, but yeah, that's what works best for your defensive layout on your base. Everything else about your defense base layout is going to be based on keeping your guys happy and making them effective at their jobs, basically. We went over the effectiveness of their jobs earlier on the day one video, but you can go ahead and expand on that for their workstations. So you got the tailoring workstations, the tailoring supplies, just one at a time right there. Only that place there is going to be for one good, and the same thing for everything else, just one, just one item at a time. Only the things that they're going to be using, the crafting stuff. So all the stuff is here and access to them, and then all the different workstations are accessed. This is where all the stuff is for the weapons, and all the stuff is for tools, and the stuff is for the clothing. Have those different wardrobes set up there, so the tailors are done, they put it in there and go back to work, that type of thing. And the same thing out for the kitchen, since that's the most important one, and the table that you got to eat on. You want to upgrade that to make them happier. So yeah, all your raw food comes in, you put it into your, you have no room for your healers. You got two guys doing the cooking, so you put that in there, they can cook it, and then once they're done, they can go around and drop it off into the freezer here, and it's, you dedicate the freezer for just cooked goods, and then everybody else can just sit at the table. So once these guys are done, they can just run in there and, they wake up, grab some food, sit down and eat, do some push-ups, and then go off to work and probably crafting, right? So they go over here, grab some stuff, do some crafting, make some components and stuff like that, and then go back there and do some resting or whatever. They don't have to leave, basically, right? They can get everything done on the inside, and then it's the base layout, which is pretty damn empty, right? So this is nothing really going on in these bases right here, besides having them a nice spacious room, because that's what keeps them happy. Having the carpet down there prevents them from getting a bad -5 debuff, but instead they get a +5 debuff. That's why I just stuck carpet everywhere on there. Doesn't matter what kind of flooring you use, and then you have your basic bed in there and your basic size. You don't need anything else in your room. It doesn't seem to matter what what you have in there. I didn't find anything else that helps them with their happiness in there. And they just need the spacious bedroom where they get a plus 18 bonus, and then the plus 5 bonus for the carpet, and then they get a bonus for sleeping on a comfortable bed. And this classifies as a comfortable bed right now, so I don't even have to upgrade them because I don't think I get anything better than that right now. And that's just wood and some cloth basically to make it comfortable. So I don't think that the carbon fiber bed helps too much. It might give you a little bit of a buff when you're upgrading it. The carbon table does, that kitchen table does versus the standard table there. So we can check out the happiness buff on these guys right now. So this had a wedding, so yeah, these guys got married, so that happens in the game. Then you want to make sure their beds are together in the room, and then they have, they smoked one up there, and slept in a big bedroom. You want that plus 18 bonus. That's what you can get all the time, easily enough. And she drank alcohol. Look at that. She ate a tasty meal. That's the cooking stuff. Ate on the carbon table. That's why you upgrade that to get that a buff. And plus 9 for the comfortable bed. So yeah, you get all the stuff right there. Then all the other, made the exquisite meal. That's her buff. That's for her cooking buff. And the creature comforts is having the flooring on there. So that's in the housing on the flooring department, and just pick whatever you have, whatever ingredients you have in abundance. Just pick one of those that you can resupply easily. So whatever you have, just go ahead and stick the flooring on there. And then, you'll get that buff for themselves. You don't need to worry about lighting or anything like that. That's just, a mechanical thing. If you're inside, outside you have to worry about the lighting, but inside you don't have to. Since there's no workstations outside, I don't need any lighting. Now, do I? They go to bed at night, so yeah, don't worry about that kind of stuff. If you don't have to, don't worry about it. That is the general idea on the layout. Keep everything nice and tight and efficient for your guys, and make sure you have the spacious bedrooms. And the size of that right here is 6x4. But if you want to get down to the technical terms on your housing, and you want to use the minimum amount of room, which I didn't actually fine tune when I was playing these games. I just fine tuned it enough to make it on a square room that has the enough to get the spacious bonus, and that was 6x4 or 5x5. But you can go down to a nice little simple 3x7 room. That will do it. It has to be over 20, so a 5x4 room won't do it, but a 3x7 room will do it. So when I'm building stuff right here, that is going to be the size of the room. I don't stop there, obviously, because when you're building your stuff, you're going to want to have a pathway. At least two spaces wide for the walkway. So make sure when you're building it, you add those other 2 in there. So when you're building it, do it by 7x9 and get that started right there. So that's supposed to be attached. For some reason it wasn't. But anyways, you just go ahead and do that. So I start with the ceilings, of course. So you get both of them, and then just go 3x9, and then bam. That is the base of your building. And make sure you got the height right, because if you're on uneven terrain, start at the highest point, because I started over here, right? So this was the highest point. This is where I started my first room, and I knew I was going to have a 2-layer space in between, so I made sure I could actually build there, and then I just had that, and then I built my base around that. So what you want to do is probably go by the 3x7 thing. So you start by 3x9, and then you build your staircase out there, and then bam, you have your base is started, and then you have this extra room right here you can add in there too for this extra space, because this space is very handy to have. Like I got the extra bot space right there for themselves, and then I have extra space for extra goods that are for overflow. I got the extra space on this side so I can run all of these refinery things, or whatever they're called. What are they called? Furnaces. So I got all these furnaces ready to go. I got some more space over here, and then some basic wood plates over there to run across there, and it's all protected from the outside in case some bugs want to come flying in there. And I got double walls basically, right? So you got the double walls in here, so you got the extra layer of protection. So it's always good if you can have one wall, why not build 2 for twice the price and have double the protection. So yeah, except for this outside wall here, I didn't do that properly, but yeah, didn't really matter too much on that. For me, I didn't want space all around, and no, I don't want anybody running around behind there. I didn't really need it. I had enough room with just doing this part right here, so I'm not even using it all, but it's there in case I need some backup space for myself. And then of course the second layer, you could do whatever you want to, more guys, more stuff. You can make this all leisure room if you want, because I got VR things you could do. You could set up there and put the proper carpeting there, and wall off your battery and your little whatever these guys are called again, the diesel generators for your backup just in case. And you can set that up there, the threshold, and turn on and off automatically. Kind of neat, all that kind of stuff for your base layout. And then of course course, you have lots of extra room in the middle of your base for nothing, because the corners out here, they're set up so they have a space of 2, because these things need that for their thing. So if I wanted to make some more, I got to copy. I can't build them against walls type of thing, so that's why there's a space of 2. But if I wanted to make some more, I just do that, bam, copied it, pasted it over. It's all set up within active circuit 10, so if I copied it circuit 10, that will build as a circuit 10, so I don't have to do anything else. I add some more defensive turrets around the outside here. So yeah, that is how you can do the turrets on the outside, and make sure you have the room for it for yourself. And yeah, just the general ideas on the layout for your base that you can see. Yeah, I was doing a lot of expeditions and seeing what was going on there, so I had 3 guys doing that at once. And I got my robots all the way over there scavenging, so Ken's off the scavenging duty now, and he's on got the bots doing the scavenging now instead, because I don't really need. Well, actually, I'm down pretty much. I had 2K before. Not so much gets used up by building all these turrets and stuff like that. You use a lot. So yeah, that's why Ken is good at. You still need Ken later on, getting all that stuff. That's some of the resources there, riding away. And you don't need too much on your farms. Like, I had to scale down my farms here. Like, still need a lot of wheat. And that was back and forth, because I had there. What do I got for that? Yeah, I'm out of grain right now. So yeah, I need a big thing of grain, because I was using a lot to make something else up there. I readjusted my supply of like alcohol and stuff that I was making, distress signal, whatever. After a while, the distress signals are useless. And it's just the first few that are useful for yourself. I got way too much of this stuff in there. Too much pumpkins. That's why I put my pumpkin field down to like nothing. It's just one little patch. It's filling that up there. I gotta turn that off of harvesting. Stop harvesting this stuff. Don't grow it anymore. But yeah, I don't know why I'm even bothering with that. But anyways, that is, the basic layout of your base. A good building reference for yourself, right? 3x7 where to start. Recommend 3x9, and building some extra space for your guys to run around and have extra protection and do the furnaces and stuff like that. And all that kind of stuff for defense and offense and whatever else you want to feel like doing, right? So yeah. The mechs are really awesome, by the way. That's why you want to build those. I don't think I did that yet, but yeah, it's nighttime and it's harder to shoot stuff at night. But they have a really nice, awesome range. Let's see, Yoko, what are you doing? So these mechs need to go up. You need to have combat 3. So that's why I force my guys to sit there and use a shooting range, or force them to go out and hunt some stuff that's not going to hurt them, and level up their combat skill until their combat skill hits 3. Once they hit 3, they can go in the mech and they'll level up super fast that way. But I always check the resting rating, and then I operate the machine so they don't fall dead. That really sucks, by the way. Don't get caught jumping in the machines with like 30 rest over there, and then all of a sudden it drops down to 10% and they fall unconscious and they get out of the mech and they're on the ground. That really sucks when that happens. But as you can see, you can check out the range of the gun. This is the laser turret, the longest range one besides the other missile turret, is up to here, and this guy's is way up to there, so we can maybe jump up to here. Can we jump up in the roof? Jump up in the roof. There you go. So we can see his range and then the laser's range. So yeah, his machine gun range is a lot bigger than the laser's range. So that is nice to have. Can you run off the building? No, I'm wait for the leaf to come off there. There you go. Nice and handy to jump on there. So yeah, if you really want to, make sure you have enough room to jump up on top of your roof with your mechs to keep them protected. So that would be fun to do too, to have them jump off. But anyways, they have a huge range. The combat mech is a lot faster with its guns than the regular light mech, but the light mech does not have this thing right here. This is like an awesome thing to have. Nice long range missile barrage that goes on there, so we fire that off there. It blows up stuff nicely. So yeah, that did a number on the trees there. So knock them half dead easily, so I wanted to farm those guys off for no reason. But anyways, these things are really good at taking up mobs of guys, and that is the whole strategy you want to use when you're attacking and you're like a big huge number of guys. Like I get attacked by like 250 guys. Say for example, the big huge swarm of 250 guys popped up here. That's what happened last time. They popped up here. As soon as they pop up, jump somebody in a mech, run up there and get within the maximum range that you can and hit them with a barrage. So that's the guy. If that's the guy right there where this fleet is, run way back to here. I can barrage it from here. That's where they are. So you stop right there and barrage and start pulling them off one group at a time that way. And then of course, if you have battle drones, use those for backup. This is good. These things are good for backup. You can draft those, put them in front of your mech, and then you'll be good to go. So these guys will start firing at anything that comes in close to your mech. Your mech sucks at shooting down towers right in front of you. It can, but it's really slow and turns around a lot, so it's a pain in the ass to get that stuff done. You want you want your mech facing the way, and you want your barrage to go off and kill stuff off nicely, and then reset and things like that. So you got this guy, he's bleeding. He doesn't care. These guys don't aggro, but the big mobs, the guys that you fight, are going to aggro and come towards you. And then when you get to the big numbers, you want to pull them off a little bit at a time. So make sure you're just even if at the start of the game, when you have your basic guys like Ken with a gun, run out there with Ken and shoot a guy basically. Or get a guy with a bow and Ken. So, once you have that, because the bow has a longer range, and use the bow guy to pull some guys towards Ken, and then Ken will shoot them with the laser and then be able to kill them a lot faster. Whatever your laser guy is at the start. But anyways, that is the rundown. Go to the guys when they spawn. As soon as they spawn, send out your troops and go attack the swarm, or your swarm is going to run, they're going to beeline it and run at a sprint towards your base. So here we go. Like, if I just waited for these guys to attack, they'll just attack all over, and it could be a bloodbath. But these guys are flying guys, so we don't have to worry about that. Like, these guys will take care of themselves, right? They're going to come over here. I'll move my drones over there, for example. Did she leave it? She left it and took off somewhere else. So who is not tired right now? He can't go into a mech. He can't operate. He can't go fight it. So that does count. She's doing stuff, so we can go in here and you can operate it, I guess, right? And you can run over here. Run over here, and this will be the last point. I'll show you the example of an attack, right? And since I could go up here, I will go up here. And that'll keep you safe, right? Maybe a little bit closer. Now, how about up here? Let's put you right there. Right up there, and then we'll let the time run out. And there they are. They're attacking. So time slows down for a little bit, and they attack. And they just swarm your base like this. So now everything is going to go off. I think we should slow this down a little bit slower so we can see what's going on. So she's fighting, the drones are fighting, the lasers are automatically turned on and shooting everywhere. The guys are swarming everywhere. You can see the bodies flying, the numbers going down, all the damage is going down. Damaged devices all over the place on these things, but that's what happens with flying guys. This is why you want to try and have flat guns, but what's the point of a flat gun when the flat gun is just going to run into the same problem all these other guns do, because these flying guys just run straight towards you. And there, we've got 9 more guys left. Where are they? 9 more guys. Oh, they're attacking her. I don't know what she's doing. But anyways, if they're attacking her over there, we can use our drones to help her out. Where are my drones? I put them on top of here. Bam, bam, and she is over here and running away. So there we go. Let's fly them over there. Speed this up a bit and attack them. I thought I said attack. And they should take care of those other flying guys. They'll fly in there eventually. There we go. One guy left. There, and done. On draft, he's taken care of. And she was doing something stupid, but yeah, what can you expect? Anyways, she is done. Yeah, we are done with her, so you can go ahead and undraft and dismount, and you're good to go. So now we got all these bodies everywhere. Everything is good. Fainted, too tired. She was. What was she doing? Was she like this on an activity for salvaging or something? Oh, she was on deliver. You gotta take that off there. She tried to deliver some of the resources that these bots dropped from way to hell over there somewhere. So that was stupid of her to go and do that, but yeah, rotted away. Anyway. That's taken care of. Oh, she is not happy at all. Look at that. Fullness, rest, happiness. Yeah, she's upset. You can force these guys to do stuff, right? Like she's waking up, she's resting, but she's hungry right now, right? So what you can do to fix her, for example, is go over here and say, hey, you're hungry. Go ahead and eat these things right here. Those things are worth a lot for happiness, and you're rested enough. At 10% you stop doing stuff, so you get rested and you eat up full. And you should be good to go. So eat that. Wait till the fullness is done, and then go ahead and tell her to do some bench presses. You get stronger, basically, right? Get stronger, do some more melee damage if you have to. Go ahead and force her to do some bench presses. Right, get over here. And then watch your relaxation go up. And this is what you do for your guys that are all gonna burn out and stuff like that. You force them to relax multiple times, and then you take care of them individually, and that should help them out there. So she's gone ahead and done that. After that, oh my god, you can keep having her do more bench presses. Make this time go faster. I don't know why it's so slow. That's why. Already used my ass. You can use them again. Do it again. bench presses. I'll wait till she gets up to full, and then you can leave her alone now. Once she's done, she'll automatically go to bed. She's so tired. But her happiness is jumping up because these two things are happy, and that's what their happiness is going to go up to, basically. And now it's dropping down to, because rest is down there. Now she's resting, and then she's going to get happy again. She's healing, and then she's going to wake up and then eat, and then she'll be good as new. So yeah, that's how I manage all these guys that start getting unhappy. Like, you know, you force them to do their activities, and you can force them to do that you know, learn how to do combat, learn how to get some more muscles for themselves for their relaxation activities. But you know, schedule is just do whatever right now. It's the end of the game. They can do whatever they want. They have, like, you know, so much, you know, happiness bonuses for themselves that it doesn't really matter anymore, because, you know, the big bedroom, he's did the punching pool, he's bonded, he slept in an amazing bed. So that's what the bed does, right? So we said the bed didn't really do very much. Well, it went from plus 9 to plus 14, I guess, right? So that's an amazing bed that helps out the, you know, tasty meal, the carving table, lots of stuff to do. He did his favorite pastime. They all have a favorite pastime, you know, to do. His is punching a pole, I believe. You can always check that stuff out, you know, punching practice. So make him do punching practice to make him happy that day. He likes to kill stuff, make him kill something every day. They get a bonus for doing his crafting skills every day too, because he is, you know, I think they're interested in it. You force them to do that. So you force them to do combat, force them to do crafting, another other bonuses for the happiness. Take care of them, take care of the base, and take care of your attacks. So hopefully this helps you out on your design, on your base building, and that's why I did my base like this too, right? Instead of building an outside big perimeter and having outside bases around there and guarding all your farms and everything like that, I did that in one of my maps. It didn't work out too well. So a lot of extra resources wasted, and then when you get attacked by flying guys, they just all fly right towards where all your guys are, which is going to be in the middle of your base. And I'd rather have all these turrets here firing at once at this big swarm of guys than having just one grouping of 3 or 4 turrets firing at something for a little bit at one angle. This one here can cover, you know, you can cover 2. Guy comes in this way, gets covered by these turrets and these turrets here. So they're always going to get covered by more weapons with less space, easier to manage. And that's it. So I hope that's the end of my advice for you on this game. So just enjoy the rest of it and figure the rest out for yourself, and go ahead and min-max what you see fit. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.